all my adult life in public service. I worked for a national civil rights leader, Reverend Al Sharpton. I was the National Director for Criminal Justice. Maybe you marched with us when we fought against the cops who shot Sean Bell. Maybe you marched with us when we fought to get justice for Abner Louima. Maybe you marched with us when we fought against all kinds of police brutality. You may have called the Public Advocate's Office when I was the Director of Intergovernmental Affairs and Community Affairs and complained about your landlords robbing you of hot water and heat. You may have called the Public Advocate's Office and said we need to do something about stop and frisk. Well, I spent my whole life fighting police brutality. But I didn't just fight on the outside, I fought on the inside. And when I was the Director of Intergovernmental Affairs at the Public Advocate's Office, we fought to get legislation passed in Albany successfully, eliminating the electronic database of hundreds of thousands of innocent young Black and Latino men in this state. We did that. So there's a record there. Maybe you called the Public Advocate's Office and you complained about your property taxes or your rent. I'm not going to just talk about the problems, I'm going to talk about the solution. How do we keep our community from being changed so rapidly? People's houses being ripped from them by predators. How do we do that? We've got to give back to those same people that gave to this community and held this community up for decades. When it was not popular to live in Bed-Stuy, the seniors that were there now stayed there, and they didn't leave. So what are we going to do for them? What we're going to do for them is institute a residential property tax abatement. So instead of giving billions of dollars to big developers to build skyscrapers, residential skyscrapers, we're going to take that money and give it to our seniors who are barely surviving in their homes. We're going to take that money. We're going to take that money and cut their property taxes. We're going to take that money and help cut their water bill. What are we going to do about public education? You know, there's a debate about public school, charter school. That's not a debate. That's not a real debate. There's a place at the table for public schools. There's a place at the table for charter schools. But that place is not the same table. As a civil rights guy, I'm well familiar with Brown versus the Board of Education. And I can stand here today and tell you that New York City is in gross violation of the spirit of Brown versus the Board of Education. What Brown versus the Board of Education said was that you cannot have two separate tiers of public accommodation. You cannot have separate but equal. Well, that's what we have in the New York City public schools today. We have separate but equal. We have charter schools which are well funded, and we have public schools which are cannibalized. We need federal intervention to bring equity to our schools. I'm not here to say what I have done. I'm not here to say what I will do. I'm here to say, help me to continue this work. Let's help change this city for the better. Let's make it workable, livable for the people that make it workable.